Okay, everybody, if you've been watching these videos on face rigging, you'll know how this is set up, but real quick, what I have right here is a render mesh. The render mesh is being driven by a couple systems at this point. One of those is standard sculpted blend shapes. That's fed into here through a blend shape node, and then I have another blend shape node coming in, and that mesh is being driven by this system here. What this is NURBS surfaces with hair follicles attached to the surface. Those follicles drive a group, and inside that group is this joint. And then these control objects here drive the UV values of that follicle's movement along this surface, going through a couple of utility nodes. So you get this nice sliding motion like that. Because of this setup, I still have these joints here with completely open control, or I'm sorry, open attributes. They're not connected in any way, so I want to be able to add another level of control to this. So to do that, this is one option. As you know, this head right here is not connected to this rig. So for these to be true on the face controls, you'd want them to follow the rig. In this particular solution, I'm not going to show you how to do that, but I will talk about some ways at the end of the video. So to get started, I'm using a utility right here called KK controllers. It just allows you to create simple NURBS shapes to use as control objects. If you select the object before controlling it, you'll see it will perform a function where it gets it does an X form and gets the world space translation and well, actually it looks like just the position of this joint. So I'm going to scale down my controller. I am then going to Control G and group that controller, center the pivot of that new group, and then we're going to take that joint right there, select the group, constrain, orient, and I want to leave maintain offset turned off. Apply that, and you get your control object oriented to the joint. So we can go in now and delete that orient constraint because we don't want that around anymore. And then take our group, and this is sort of the messy way, but I want to move it up under, let me close this guy, under this left brow 1 joint group. The left brow 1 joint group, of course, being driven by a follicle. So anything inside of that is going to move with the follicle. I am then going to take this left brow joint and move it under my new control curve. Right, so now this group is driving my new control group, which is oriented to the joint. Inside of the control group is my new control object, and then under my control object is my joint. So what that's going to allow me to do now is move this controller here, which slide is doing the whole follicle joint setup, and then I have an individual control to make additional adjustments if I like. There we go. So yeah, pretty simple. Normally you would want to sort of set up this whole hierarchy before you draw your joints and get the orientations nice and clean and all that good stuff, but this is sort of a work in progress, just showing you ideas. Like I mentioned earlier, for these to be true on the face controls, you would want them to follow the face, and of course the way I just set this up, they're not going to do that. In lieu of making these groups and stuff, you could probably do some constraints. The other option is to take this whole face rig and have that following your actual head. You could also just create another control set, which is directly connected to the rotate and translate values of these individual controls, and have that whole control set in a group, and have the group parent constraint to the head so it followed the head. Or you could just consider this next layer another layer of control, and use it strictly for when you're creating your slider poses, or create a whole new set of sliders. And there's just lots of options there, but I'll let you figure that out for yourself. So thanks for watching, and I hope that helps somebody's, and see you next time.